Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior and welcome to another Mortal Kombat video. Now today will be another installment in my What Went Wrong series, but today it's going to be on a character that many might deem this episode as rather controversial, as today we're going to be talking about Earthrealm's protector, Raiden, and what's necessarily gone wrong with him. Raiden to me as a character has always been an interesting concept, but one that has faltered time and time again in terms of execution of what/who he is. So in today's video I'll be going very briefly over his background, as well as his track record within the universe that ultimately led up to my own personal conflicting feelings about this character. Anyway, on that note, let's just get right onto it. Now Raiden is one of the few individuals throughout the Mortal Kombat universe that have the title of God, having seen countless faces and friends fall over the course of time. So he is indeed a very old individual, having been around since the days of Shinnok's attempt to overthrow the Elder Gods. Now, as we all do know, Shinnok did falter in these events, and Raiden was given the opportunity to look after Earthrealm, something which he still does to this day. Now, one thing that really did make Raiden quite unique, especially when we compare him to gods and even other Elder Gods, is his own moral compass. Unlike the Elder Gods, Raiden's a little bit more human than I think a lot of people give him credit for, but we'll get back onto his moral compass in a bit. Now, of course, over the course of time whilst protecting Earthrealm, he's notably seen humans flourish, but always end up in some form of danger. The most notable at this point being the existence of Shao Kahn and Outworld, as the two realms are constantly battling it out in Mortal Kombat for ownership of Earthrealm. Now, over the course of time in this series, as we've seen, it's not just Shao Kahn who's after Earthrealm. They come across Shinnok, the Deadly Alliance, and even Onaga. So Raiden's been around for a long amount of time, and by him being around for this long, I can kind of analyze what's wrong with the character. Now, I'm definitely well aware that Raiden takes on more of a mentor role within the series, but a massive problem with the character is just that Raiden isn't that intimidating. Being bound by the rules of Mortal Kombat, it means that he can't engage in combat unless someone directly challenges him. Now, it doesn't ruin the character and kind of solidifies his elderly role. In the original timeline up to Deadly Alliance, he doesn't have any notable fights against any individuals. He simply exists and is only there. He doesn't even get his hands dirty when he fights Shinnok. He instead leaves that to Liu Kang. So the first time we ever see him fight in the Mortal Kombat series is during the opening cinematic of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, to which he's then defeated by Shang Tsung and Quan Chi. And I'm not trying to take anything away from the Deadly Alliance, as they were notable for killing many individuals here, but considering that this was the first time we actually saw Raiden fight, he really did come up short. And what further kind of damages the character's reputation is when he entered his Dark Raiden form. Now, the problem with Dark Raiden as a character is that his goals were never really clear. He was angry and upset with how the realm was being treated and would have killed anyone that was kind of a threat to his home, yet in Mortal Kombat Armageddon he would openly side with Shao Kahn during the climax of the battle, and once again we do see him get beaten by Taven. And that's a massive problem with this character because his track record really isn't good at all. Now, in the reboot, things most certainly look much better for the character, but another problem isn't so much Raiden as a whole, but his godlike status. When you believe someone can refer to themselves as a god, you believe them to be on a higher plane of existence, and because of that you naturally believe that they are much stronger than your average fighter. But that's something in the Mortal Kombat universe that's clearly thrown under the bus. There are constantly individuals that are able to defeat gods and demigods, with green energy being a primary example of something that can defeat a god. Now, that's not to say that the green energy is a terrible idea and concept, but my main problem is that the whole god status doesn't really mean much in the Mortal Kombat universe. It seems like it's just a title that's bestowed upon someone, regardless of power and position. That's one of my main problems I do see with Raiden quite a bit. We naturally expect much more from this character, and it feels like he underperforms because of his godlike status. Now, in saying that, these wrongs could be righted with the whole Dark Raiden arc that's clearly coming up, but they would have to take some drastic changes here. And we do see this a little bit at the end of MKX, where it seems like he's thrown out the moral compass and is now taking on a much more passive-aggressive role, but it would have to be a drastic change for the character. Raiden has been around since the very first game. He's understandably a fan favorite, but he's definitely a character that's gone through a lot of problems in terms of characterization. Now, that's not to say that's entirely his fault. Due to rather inconsistent writing of this character and the somewhat bipolar nature of this universe, Raiden most definitely seems to be more a victim of the game's world than he is a bad character, because when the only thing you have going for you is also the same thing that's kind of dragging you down, you have to question whether or not it's a character problem or more so a world building problem. And with many individuals having the strength and power to combat gods, it kind of renders their placement in this world as useless. That's why I'm hoping that the Dark Raiden arc that we have coming up will really change how Raiden is as a character, because for far too long now he has been a bit of a pushover, and they really need to take that power cap off the character. We really need to see what Raiden looks like as a character that's let off the leash. His moral compass has been something that's restricted him for a very long amount of time, and hopefully by giving him a little bit more freedom as a character allows him to have a wider range of emotion. Plus, if they're going to write him as a villain or an anti-hero, I sincerely do hope it's written quite well, because the previous Dark Raiden arc, from what I've said, was most certainly underwhelming and was 100% inconsistent with the character. So hopefully this whole Dark Raiden arc turns out to be something quite special. But that more or less sums up my overall feelings on this character. I don't hate Raiden by any means. I used to really not like him a few years back, but now when I look over him as a character, I see a lot of inconsistencies with his characterization and how he's written. He's unfortunately a victim of inconsistent writing and lives in a universe where the title of God doesn't necessarily mean too much anymore. So again, I really do hope they write the Dark Raiden arc well and give us more of an opportunity to explore the darker sides of this character, as we've only seen a few glimpses of it here and there throughout the series. But yeah guys, that's it. I hope you do enjoy this episode. I understand it's on quite a controversial character for my What Went Wrong series, but I also like to think that no character is beyond the point of no return, and with the future somewhat looking bright for this character, I hope to see it be done well. But yeah, that's kind of it for this video guys. Now before it wraps up, if possible, let's try getting it to about 500 likes. It's a great way of supporting this channel since YouTube's ad system is broken as hell. So by giving a thumbs up, it helps out a ton. And if you want to go that extra step, we also have a Patreon set up, and a link for it will be down in the description below. Anyway guys, as always, please comment, like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care, and I'll see you all next time.